Hello there. My name is Gwendolyn Tucker, and I am here with Stacy Brookman. Stacy and I we met on LinkedIn. Stacy reached out to me. She had heard about Zap the Gender Pay Gap, the podcast that I host, and we had a conversation. And she invited me to speak on her summit. And so today, it is definitely my honor to talk with Stacy and for her to share about her summit that's coming up. You definitely will not want to miss it. So let's just get with it. So Stacy, tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. Yes. I am a leadership and resilience coach, and I coach women leaders mostly in corporate and organizations and things like that. And I coach them to have that genuine internal confidence. I call it comfortable confidence, which is not a sexy name or anything like that, but it's like, that's what I want is to be comfortable in my confidence, not the fake it till you make it or the bro confidence or anything like that that you put on as an armor. When you have that from the inside, it is completely amazing and it is so fun and comfortable. And so that's what I coach women leaders around.
I love it. One of the things that I share on my podcast, I've named the gender pay gap the elephant in the room. And I
Mhm.
say that it actually has a penchant for pink. It loves pink. And so it kind of chases us down as women. I have
Yes.
spent really all of my corporate career, over 20 years, in paper manufacturing and publicly traded companies. And so this piece around this fake it till you make it piece, having to put on your armor. The other thing I also share is that, it's a jungle out here. And, my
Mhm.
husband, he's been on a safari before. And, we think about suiting up on the outside, but in reality, what I hear is about suiting up on the inside.
Right.
I was just mentioning to you that I heard this line in a movie. And she said to this person, "You helped me find the confidence to be myself." Um,
Yes.
can you share a little bit
Love
more
that.
about that around how we forsake ourselves and how confidence actually affects us in a negative way?
Yes. So when we are not ourselves, we are, we're trying to affect how other people feel or what they feel about us, what they think about us. And I'll just tell you all a little secret here. What other people think of you and feel about you is none of your business. You can totally ignore it. And there's lots of different ways to come about that. But a lot of what we do in with that armor or with that fake it till you make it type of confidence is we're trying to portray who we are in a way that makes other people like or appreciate us. For instance, I climbed the ladder, the corporate ladder for 30 years, and sometimes I would skip a rung, right? And you would think I would feel great being towards the top, right? And I never did. I never felt that good about it because I always thought I'm the least person in the room or, I shouldn't be here. I always say this. I feel like, those 007 or those spy movies, there's always some sort of big ball that they're infiltrating and they're going in, they're like dressed up in their, fancy dresses and the spy is in there amongst all of the people, but they're hoping not to get found out. And I
Mm.
that's the way I felt like in leadership. I was there at the ball and attending, but I had slipped in by the side door or I
Wow.
shouldn't really be there and always waiting to be found out. And when you have that kind of confidence, that fake it till you make it, or that it's not a good experience of leadership for yourself. Yes, you can make it. Yes, you can climb the ladder. Yes, you can do the activities that you need to do to even be good at your job. But your experience of it, or your experience of
Mhm.
yourself, is not that great. You're always worried, am I going to make a misstep? And I always say imposter syndrome has lots of different ways that projects. Perfectionism is a symptom of imposter syndrome because if I'm going to check, I want everything that goes out to be completely perfect. And if there is one little mistake, I'm a
Mhm.
failure as a leader. That's the internal dialogue. Overwork. if you are working over so much and regularly, I get it. There's projects that, like for a week, you need to do a little bit more or whatever. But when you're regularly overworking and projecting all of that to other people, first of all, you're not making their experience of you that great, because if she has to overwork, then maybe I have to overwork too. And you're not setting that great example, but you're not giving yourself the permission to leave work at work or
Mm.
leave something undone because you need that rest and relaxation time. So overwork, overwhelm, perfectionism, and then people pleasing. If I am worried about you and what you think of me, then I'm operating out of fear that you're not going to like me because I said no, or I said, hey, we've got to change the deadline on this project, or whatever it is. And so, again, all of this internal stress is causing you not to experience leadership as it could be, as the joy and the thrilling ride that it could be for you.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, it was interesting when you said sometimes we don't want to make a mistake. And I heard someone say that, sometimes when we make a mistake, we think we are a mistake. But in
Yes.
actuality, we just made a mistake. Or
Yeah.
if we fail to do something up to our standards, it's not that I'm a failure. It's just I failed to do that one thing up to
Right.
my standards. Yeah. So it
Means you're
sounds as
human,
though
right? You're a
absolutely.
human being. Like, if you did not make a mistake, you wouldn't be a human being. And that's words, but you've got to
Yeah,
really internalize that. It's
absolutely.
true. Making
Mhm.
mistakes is part of being human, and it's
Yeah.
okay. Right.
Yeah, I love that. So it sounds as though your time in corporate as an executive has led you to what you're doing today. Tell us a little bit about what you have coming up. I know you had reached out to me about your summit on
Yes.
confidence and resilience. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh my gosh, I am making I've been to lots of summits, in person, virtual. I've participated, I've spoken at conferences and summits, and there it's great, but I am building a summit that I would want to actually attend, because
Mhm.
sometimes you go to summits and the whole first 10 or 15 minutes are the background and catching up, and it's too conversationally, so that like women leaders, we have time schedules, like we're busy, we don't have time to listen to that. So like I
Mhm.
listen on 1.5 speed or whatever. So all of the interviews, and you are one of the most amazing, I'm so excited for people to hear what you have to say. But they're 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes or less, and we get within 60 seconds, we get right to the very first question. Like, none of that, all the background and stuff, if you want, are below the video. But I always say, if someone is in my summit speaking, they deserve to be there. I don't need to create a credibility 10 or 15-minute spiel at the beginning. We're going to get right to the meat, because women come to this summit for real actionable information that they can use right away. And so that's what we do. So that's one of the things. The other thing, I don't know if you've ever been to a summit where you're like, okay, this person is speaking at 10 a.m., but I've got this conference call and I really have to do it. And then, or they're only open for 24 hours. That's calendar whack-a-mole. I'm like trying to, whack down some of the things so I can participate. And then I end up not listening to hardly anything. So this is different, because all the options, all the speakers, all the presentations are open the entire summit. So you go in there, you can click what is your favorite ones, just go down through the list. There's by problem, by subject, by name. You can find them all over. And then you just click your list. I like this one and I want to watch this one and this one. And then you go over to your favorites page, and there they are. All of the ones that you really want to watch, all open the entire summit, all 4 days. And so it's kind of like a choose your own adventure. And it's also some gamification. You're going to get some badges for that you can collect easily for some of the items there. And so I wanted to make it fun, and I wanted to make it really, really useful for busy women leaders.
Wow, I love that. So where can they go and find this information? I know I'm going to put it in the description, but if you could just share where they can find it, that would be
Yes.
great.
It is realliferesilience.com/summit dash registration. So realliferesilience.com/summit dash registration. You'll get to the registration page. It gives you all the information there. You can see the speakers and their topics. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. Such knowledge, a wealth of knowledge there that folks will absolutely want to participate in.
And I'm looking forward to it. In case you missed it, I will put the link in the description for this video. Stacy, one of the things that you and I talked about was during my days in corporate, I've been in multiple types of environments, right? Some that were collaborative, but some that were ultra competitive, And I know that for me, I tend to be a more collaborative individual and I don't really thrive under in a highly competitive environment. Um, Now I'm learning to be more adaptable. But one of the things that I always thought during my days in corporate that if I became more competent, it would build my confidence. But
Mm,
in reality, that was not necessarily the case.
yeah.
Can you speak to that just a little bit about that?
Yeah. Yeah, and I used to think that too, which is why at one point in my career I had so many designations. I had more letters after my name than in my name, including my middle name. So and I think we seek out like status and higher jobs and titles, like even if they're not higher jobs, but the title meaning something, or designations or accolades, or here's what I've done, all of those things, thinking that it's going to make us feel better, right? Maybe unintentionally, maybe, subconsciously, that we like, this is going to be it. And I will tell you, it's never better there than here. Even when I had all those letters after my name, I did not feel better or have a better experience of leadership than, before. What really counts are the thoughts in your head and how you manage your thoughts and how you master your emotions.
I
And
love that.
I am also speaking in my own summit, and I've got to talk on this, that teaching you, because when you master your emotions, that's not quelling them, that's not tamping them down, bringing them out, but also being able to experience them and let
Uh-huh.
them be, that can be a superpower. Like anger or frustration or whatever it is, sadness, whatever it is, if you can allow that in your body without taking the actions that feeling brings, that is a
Mm,
superpower. But all of that starts with your thoughts. Now,
mhm.
lots of thoughts are automatic. Our brains are going to be throwing stuff at us. This is stupid. I can't believe you're even here. I've had people um, get a new job, and one of my clients said, I don't know if nobody else applied for the job or what, but here I am. No, those are the thoughts in your head lying to you. And our brains do lie to us. I mean, that was
Mhm.
when I found that out, I was like, oh, really? Okay. Oh, yeah. So
Wow.
I lead people through a process called the Remarkable Resilience Routine that teaches you how to uncover your thoughts,
Mhm.
determine, are they true? If they're not, let's see if we can change those. If they are true, like maybe my boss is a micromanager or whatever, the other person isn't cooperating. If it is true, is the thought that you are thinking useful? And if it's
Mhm.
not useful, let's talk about how you can change that, because the thoughts create your feelings, which create your actions. And the actions that you're doing are probably not serving you from thoughts that don't serve you well.
Stacy, I love that. I really love that. As you were talking, I was just thinking about the fact that we often don't take time to just sit back and reflect. We're so
Yes.
busy on the go, full schedules, agendas, all of that, taking care of everyone else except ourselves, that
Right.
we don't actually take time to be able to manage our emotions or and master our thinking. So I love this. I do believe that the summit is going to be an opportunity for reflection. I think it's perfectly
Yes.
timed, in our corporate lives. September was typically heavy budgets time, strat plan
Hmm.
time, planning, looking at the balance of the year and into the next 3 to 4 years. So I think it's perfectly timed. If you, what are like the top 2 to 3 things that you hope attendees walk away with from the
Mm.
summit that would just be so rewarding and that
Yeah.
would be mission accomplished for you?
Yeah. I think if every woman came away with 3 to 5 things that they can start doing that very moment, that day, that will improve their experience of leadership, I would absolutely be thrilled. And I think if they can then start working on their confidence, that internal, genuine confidence, that is totally, totally possible. I absolutely love it. We have so many, the speakers are just, I can't say enough about them. Like, we've got folks that's like resentment as a superpower, building executive presence, even when you're in overload. And you know what?
Mm.
We're probably all in overload all the time. So why not be have that executive presence while while you're doing it, right? And
Absolutely.
how to manage your thoughts, not but also master your internal dialogue with yourself and have some self-compassion. This is going to give you the actionable tools, not just like theories or any things like that. This is really, really going to help you from the moment that you start listening.
Yeah, Stacy, I can't wait. Can't
I
wait.
know.
I'm so looking forward to it. It truly is a jungle out there. We have to suit up and be prepared internally more so, as well as externally, as how we take care of ourselves. And so I'm thoroughly, thoroughly looking forward to this. Before we go, is any parting comments or words that you have for those who are listening?
Yeah. I would say you are worth spending time doing this. You are worth exploring how you can have a better experience of leadership and how you can create your own experience of leadership, no matter what environment you're in. If you're in a great environment, great. Let's make it better. If you're in a crappy environment, let's make your experience of your leadership so much better. It's going to be fun.
Wow. I'm looking forward to it. It's the Confidence and Resilience Summit created by Stacy Brookman. You do not want to miss it. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you, Stacy.
Thanks, Gwendolyn.